Here's where we diverge from C for a little bit, and Arduino is closer to C++. An object is like a variable in that it points to a location in memory that holds some data. However, objects can have functions associated with them called member functions. As a result, we can make objects perform actions. You may not have noticed this, but we've been using an object for quite some time now. Whenever we call serial.print or serial.println, we're using the serial object. The period after serial says that we're accessing some member within the serial object, either a variable or a function. Because print and println have parentheses after them, it means that we're calling a function in serial. If we tried to write println by itself in Arduino, it wouldn't compile. That's because there's no println function defined in the global scope. However, there is a println function defined within the serial object, so we need to reference the serial object first by writing serial with a capital S, followed by a period. Then we write the function, println, and some parameter to print, like hello world. For most Arduino programs you might write, you won't need to worry about making your own objects. However, it can be very useful to know how to use some objects that already exist. We just covered serial, so let's look at another important object, the string object. Now is a good time to introduce the Arduino reference guide. Open a browser and navigate to www.arduino.cc. Click Learning and click Reference. Here, you'll see many of the operators, functions, and structures we've already discussed. Scroll down and look for String Object. Notice that it's capital S string. We've already talked about lowercase s string. That's just an array of characters. Click on the String Object link. You can read all about it. The String Object allows you to store arrays of characters just like the lowercase string, but it also allows us to perform actions on the collection of characters. Note that a string object takes up more memory than a regular string, but it allows us to do more. Take a look at the functions on the right side, and you can see all the things we can make a string object do. Click on the string function, and you'll see all the ways you can create a string object. Scroll down to take a look at some examples. Looks like we can create a string object much in the same way we create a character array. However, the variable's data type is the type string. That's one major difference. We're not using one of C's built-in data types or an array. Elsewhere in the Arduino framework, capital S string has been created and is now a type for us to use for variables. Let's go back to our code. Replace our println line with string, my string, equals, open quotes, hello, comma, world, close quotes, semicolon. Below that, write serial.println my string. Good news! The serial object's print and println functions know how to handle capital S string objects. So we can just pass them as arguments to print them out. Now the fun begins. Head back to the Arduino reference page where we were reading about the string object. Down the right side, you see the functions we can use. These allow us to manipulate strings. Click on char_at. It says it returns a character at a particular index. Okay, let's try that. Back in our code, replace myString in println with myString.char_at, open parentheses, 7, close parentheses, and run it. Open the serial monitor and you should see W appear. That's because W is the character with the index of 7 in our hello world string. That's fun. What else can we do? What's concat? Click on it and find out. Appends the parameter to a string. That sounds like we can use it to combine strings. Read a bit more, and it turns out that it won't return a string. It simply modifies the string we send it. Let's try it. Replace our myString.char_at with myString. Above the serial.println line, add myString.concat, open parentheses, open quotes, lings, close quotes, close parentheses, semicolon. Run it and check the serial monitor. Cool, we can add stuff to the end of strings. Let's find something else in the reference guide. How about to uppercase? Give an uppercase version of the string. Let's give this one a shot. Above our concat line, add mystring.toUppercase, open parentheses, close parentheses. Run it and see what happens. Notice that hello world is converted to uppercase before we add lings to the end. How might you change the code so that all of hello world lings is converted to uppercase? We can switch the order of appending lings and to uppercase. Try it and check the results. I won't bore you with all the functions in the string object, but I encourage you to continue reading through the reference guide to figuring out what more of the functions do. The important thing here is understanding how to use the serial and string objects and where to find information to see what they can do. I encourage you to try the challenge, and here's a hint. Look through the reference guide for the string object and find a function that might work for you.